Hello, hello, it's Kev here. Time for introduction number 70. Number 70, quite a lot, but we still have 31 to go. If you want to see the whole 101, you can buy our book, 101 Introductions, available on IELTS9PRO. Anyway, that advertisement aside, let's get on with this. So I think we've got 10 introductions, I think it was 10 introductions, or maybe 11. So what's the topic? So it's an advantages and disadvantages and give your opinion. So these days, with advances in technology, more and more people are working from home. Tell me what the advantages and disadvantages are and give your opinion. Okay. So what's the 2 steps, right? A good introduction. Step 1, you paraphrase. Simply restate the topic. That's all. Nowadays, currently, these days, recently, you could do those. You can change that to technological advances, etc. Increasingly, more and more, working from home. You can call it home working. Some call it teleworking or telecommuting. I would just call it home working. What's the main advantage? Well, more time with your family. If you're at home, you don't have to commute, spending hours on the bus or train or tram or driving. But what's a disadvantage? For some workers, if you're single, going into the office, into the workplace is your only, well, perhaps not your only, but it's a major source of social interaction. So if you don't go into the office, you don't meet people. Simple as that. My opinion, I would just expand the advantage and the disadvantage, because it doesn't really ask what, does one side outweigh? It just says, tell me what they are, and my opinion, I think it's got both pros and cons. I would write this pretty much as a balanced essay. Anyway, let's have a look at a sample. Currently, technological advances mean that home working is increasing. Okay, I believe that this brings some benefits, such as more time spent with family members. However, it might also result in social isolation for single workers. That's it. Pretty straightforward. Now, it's always a good idea to give an outline of what your main ideas are. Don't simply say this issue has some advantages and disadvantages which will be discussed. Tell us what they are, because if you don't, it's a waste of words. Okay, this one's good. Didn't have to make any changes. Nowadays, an increasing number of people prefer to do their job at home due to the advances in or advancement of technology. In my view, having a flexible schedule is the main point. Distraction is a primary drawback, so I can only guess that this essay will be talking about you can choose your hours of work and etc. But maybe if you're at home, there's other things that could get in the way, like watching videos on YouTube instead of working, or something similar. Now, it is argued that blah blah blah. It's not argued, it's simply stated. So it's not an argument, it's a statement. And there's not 2 sides. It simply says this is becoming, it's popular. So it's not becoming, it already is. More and more people are working from home these days. So if you want to say it's becoming, okay, but according to the topic, it's popular now. So, although this practice gives flexibility, I believe that it jeopardizes. Now, how can it jeopardize? That means put something in harm's way. So how can it harm social isolation? That doesn't work at all. You could maybe say it threatens social isolation, or it may cause, but it can't really jeopardize social isolation. Nowadays, modern technologies. Now, why is it notable? It just says, it's popular. Okay. Some disadvantages, spinal malfunction. Spinal malfunction. I'm not really sure how working at home. I mean, if you're doing the same kind of job, if it's an office job, because they're the only jobs that you can do from home, wouldn't you be getting spinal malfunction in the office? Because you still are sitting down. So I'm not really sure quite what spinal malfunction has to do with anything. Seems to me that mostly plays a positive role, and you could maybe tell me why you think so. Maybe more time with your family, etc. But you didn't really say that. Bit of grammar here. Now, why was that in passive has been evolved? Nowadays, technology has evolved, which allows, not makes, because make means that you don't have a choice, which allows many employees to perform their tasks. Oh, missed that. From home or from their house. But though, home doesn't necessarily mean a house. It could be an apartment. So, from home. Although there are a number of drawbacks involved in this trend, are you going to tell me what they are? Such as, that would be an example of merit. So that doesn't really work there. So, although there are a number of drawbacks involved in this trend, you don't say what they are. Get rid of such as. The merits of, now, accruing to work, that doesn't work. The merits of working from at home, again, you haven't said, are more important and profitable for companies and workers. Nowadays, many people do their task, you mean work, from home as a result of, not at the, as a result of technological progress, not progress of technology. In my view, saving lots of time, lots of money and time are, because it's two, the merits of this trend, and the, because it's one, major drawback is a sedentary lifestyle due to spending plenty of time, you mean too much time, excessive time, in front of laptops and computers. So watch your articles and grammar there. In the modern world, an increasing number of people do a job at home rather than the office. Okay. A sedentary lifestyle, it doesn't decline, it reduces and brings more convenience to there. Now, who does that pronoun there refer to? In this sentence, there's no one for there to refer to. Traffic congestion, more convenience to their lives, to people's lives, to office workers' lives. You'd have to specify. Therefore, it is more advantageous. You can't have a method, advantageous method. Therefore, it is more advantageous, in my view. Remote working has become a new trend worldwide, although it could have, but did it or didn't it, optimize the efficiency of the workforce? And Vogue doesn't really work for trend. Vogue is kind of like in fashion, not the same thing in this context. If you're not 100% sure about a synonym, don't use it. If you get it wrong in the wrong context, it will have the opposite effect to that which you intend. Lower scores, not higher. Now, you don't tell me anything. You don't tell me any advantage or disadvantage. You don't tell me a thing. So, not so good. Now, if we look at this one here, right? Convenience, productivity gains, but there could be some difficulty in managing home workers because you can't keep an eye on workers if they're at home. So that one doesn't really tell me anything. Doesn't give the reader any idea where it's going. This one here does. This one's good. Restatement of topic, and then of benefits, convenience, possible productivity gains. But you may have some trouble managing your workers as a consequence. So that one's good. I'd do it like that. Recently, through technological progress, distance working is receiving wide Currency, you mean it's popular among individuals, despite there being some drawbacks in this trend. Less interaction among job holders, put a comma or a semicolon, and cyber attacks. I believe this can provide a situation for employees to have both a flexible schedule and more time to spend with a family in general or their family in particular. Okay, working remotely from home because of technological developments, make it an adjective, can be beneficial for people to cement their relationships with family members, can be cost effective, so that's good. Tells me where the essay is going. However, there's some drawbacks. The lack of social interaction, as well as having a sedentary lifestyle. In my view, the merits accruing, you can't accrue to workers, but accruing, in that context, it's not too bad, can be of immense importance as a result of forging a bond. Not quite sure what that is referring to, but I have to read the rest of the essay. And I think this is a final one. Yeah. Why use 4 words when you can use 1? Many individuals have been enabled to telecommuting or telecommute by excessive. And why is it excessive? Progress in technological innovations. I can see that you've been trying to use a synonym, but they don't all work, not in that context. It is believed that it could have drawbacks and benefits, yes. Meanwhile, I adore. Why would you use that particular verb? Its advantages, which that's so, right. This tells the reader absolutely nothing. I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea. So try to avoid these empty sentences, because it tells the reader nothing. Compare that with that. A sedentary lifestyle, social interaction, forging a bond. That's a little vague, but still it gives me some idea. This one, less interaction, cyber attacks, flexible schedule, so that gives me some idea. This gives me some idea. This one's pretty good. Okay, tells me where the essay is going. Again, this kind of a sentence doesn't tell the reader anything. And the rest of it, not too bad. Just a little bit of grammar, a bit of vocab. And this one doesn't really tell me either. There's some drawbacks, there's some kind of merits. Okay. So that's pretty good, I think. I think that's enough. So we've got 2 or 3 here that are pretty good indeed, and some don't really give the reader anything. Oh, there's some opinions, there's some advantages, maybe I'll tell you. Maybe I won't. So that's not bad. So that's number 70. I'm going to make the video in a moment for number 71. And we'll probably be inviting someone to write a complete essay, maybe for this one, maybe for 71. And I'll be writing a Band 9 example, and I'll be doing a free assessment of that, whichever one. It's either this one or possibly the next one, 71. So, hope that helps. See you later.